I've known I was put on this earth to build a world where all kids can feel safe.
Oh yeah. Are you gonna be my mommy and daddy?
We sure would love that if you'll have us.
Folks just love a good American family.
Y'all listen, we're going to get into it. I want to just start out by saying, forgive me in advance. I just want to put this disclaimer out. I cannot be held responsible for any of the things that come out of my mouth on tonight, but we are here to talk Good American Family, which premiered on Hulu. The first 2 episodes dropped, and this is loosely based on the curious case of Natalia Grace. If you guys have been around for a couple months, then you've been here for our take as we watched all parts of the docuseries. But y'all, we're here to talk about this. We're here to talk about this monstrosity is what I'm going to call it, but I'm not doing this alone. We have, of course, OG, Triple OG. I'm going to bring her out first because y'all know her, y'all love her. Tyra over at Struggle Reviews TV. How are you doing today, friend? Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
Yes, I just want to know whose narrative we're getting. Like, what? This is not the Natalia I met, that we met in those docs. I just love that we're getting a little bit of truth and a whole lot of just debauchery. This is ridiculous in the best way, and I can't wait to see where this ride takes us.
Oh, Lord, she's excited about the ride, and I'm just trying to buckle my seatbelt because this is one of the most unhinged TV dramas that I've seen. And I think it's because there's like this air of whimsy to it. Like, it's not really straightforward. It's not super serious, although we're dealing with extremely serious subject matter. Last but not least, a special guest on tonight. We have B. Avery from Just My Opinion. How are you doing tonight, Brandon? Are you ready to get into it?
Hello, hello, hello. I'm doing fine tonight, and I am super ready to get into it.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Well, without further ado, we're going to get into these slides because, I keep them on deck because it keeps us honest as we go through here. I'm going to start out with you, Brandon. I want to know immediately out of the gate, after watching these first 2 episodes, what were your overall thoughts? And do you have any background with Natalia Grace? Do you know anything about the real story?
I have no idea what the real story is. I found out about the show day before yesterday, I think, or I can't remember. Maybe talking to him. Yeah, the day I sent you the trailer is the day I found out about this story here. I was just scrolling on Instagram, saw the Hulu, saw the trailer, and I was like, wait a minute, that is the same plot as the Orphan movie that I saw like a long time ago. And I was like, that was a good ass movie. I really did like that. I didn't see the prequel, so that's what got me on board and checked it out. Also, I don't know anything about the overall story, but what I really like about it is they reveal the plot in the trailer. If you see the other film, you have to see the movie to know exactly what's going on. So it piqued my interest, like, okay, where are they going to take the story? So I was really satisfied in these first 2 episodes because within the first 5 or 10 minutes, we're at like present day and we have to go back in time. So I'm saying like 9 years. So I'm like, wow, if the crap hit the fan, how do we get to the present day? Like, what is the journey? What is the adventure? I cannot wait to see this. So I was on board from the beginning, just saying like, okay, this is going to be an interesting story to tell, what perspective we're going to get. This image you have right here, she looks like an animal, and that's hilarious to me in itself. It's silly as hell. This is extremely stupid, but it seems like stupid fun though. Like I feel like we're gonna have a lot of fun just laughing at how ridiculous this family is, this husband and wife, and well, not anymore, or how they were ignoring all the red flags. And I can't wait. So to answer your question, yeah, I'm enjoying myself so far.
Oh Lord, and I'm just gonna say, buckle your seatbelt because we're just getting started. Because if they lend it, and I see they're to go way overboard, but the real life story is stranger than fiction. Tyra, talk to me about these first 2 episodes.
That's what I was about to say. As ridiculous as what we've seen is, if you know anything about the real life story, this isn't all that far fetched, which is sad. This isn't, you can tell they're pressing it. Baby, this is a horror film. This is a horror show if I've ever seen one. Like, this is your Orphan. This is your Chucky, your Seed of Chuckies, your little evil doll. Like, they lost me with any grips on reality. The fact that we have seen the Natalia Grace many of time from, when they first adopted her to what she appears to look like now. The fact that they went out of their way in respect to this young actress here, but I've seen her. This is not what she looks like.
Mm-hmm.
The way Natalia looks like an inbred cannibal. Like, what's happening? This is a horror movie. This is, your Last House on the Left. The Hills Have Eyes. Wrong Turn. Like, this looks like an inbred cannibal who's waiting for you to break down at the nearest truck stop, and we're gonna prey on these teenagers and eat them and entrap them. She looks like that. So the fact that we went overboard with the look, the skin, the false teeth, I was like, oh, this is crazy. We about to have a good time. But with all that being said, this is up to par with a lot of the things that, especially the mom said, took place as to why we maybe thought Natalia was older than she was. But this is so funny and ridiculously over the top that I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. I really at first felt like, can we leave Natalia alone? How much can we milk out of this story? Doesn't she already have an installment, a film, and other things? We need something else. No, we need this. We need this because we need the laughter, and I'm here for it. These first 2 episodes are just the beginning. I can't wait to see where we end up.
The fact that they put this baby a mask on, that they gave her a mask, a prosthetic for her face, because this is nothing. She looks nothing of the sort. This is horror movie makeup that they put on this young lady. And I'm outdone. And I have been following the story for the past couple of years, ever since the first original documentary was released on Investigation Discovery. And I fully sat for it because, like I said, it's stranger than fiction. But I was torn watching this because I said, who is this for? Why did they do this? And who did this? And when I went on my little research and saw that Mike Epps had the audacity to be an EP on this project.
Excuse me?
Wow.
What? Excuse me? Michael Epps? The Michael? Day? Are you serious?
I said, what are you doing here? What are you doing over here? Why do you have anything to do with this? And then, of course, we meet Katie Robbins, who's the creator and showrunner, in addition to Sarah Sutherland. And they, have done all of the press and everything. And they're basically saying they heard this story originally. They read all the articles. They went down the documentary rabbit hole. And they said, listen, this will be a cool show to make because we want to address people's biases. We want to hear all of these yarns because if you're familiar with the docs, you know that everybody has a specific slant and perspective about what really, really happened. So what is truth, right? I think that's kind of the deeper overarching theme that they're trying to get out. Brandon, I'm going to start with you while Tyra refreshes and comes back in. Are you surprised that Mike Epps had a hand in this?
Yes, he is the last person on the planet that I thought would be involved with this. Like that is out of nowhere. Didn't see it coming.
Absolutely. And like I said, I can appreciate the approach to, especially because like I said, if you watched it, Natalia has one version of events, Michael has a version of events, and Kristine, although that she didn't participate in the doc, we know that she has her own version. Tyra, what do you think about the creator and showrunner's motivations, and what you think? Why is Mike over here?
I mean, I can't remember what we were discussing, but we were talking about projects and how many producers, directors, or writers have maybe falsified something just to get something out there for like monetary reasons. But we didn't put our real name on. We put an alias. We need an alias here, Mike. We didn't need you to put your name on it. You could have put anything on there. Like I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm just, you would want us to maybe put our name on something else, but you know, this is a very strike while the iron is hot. As we've seen with every single doc and story and movie, Natalia Grace is the story that keeps on giving. So if the people want it, I'm going to give it to them and put my name on it. I'm not mad at them. Get your money, Mike. Oh, and these ladies over here, get y'all money too. But I don't know them. I know Mike else.
Oh, Lord. And so, Brandon, I'm going to come back to you. And I do want to talk about motivation because in this little blurb, they also talk about we are going to get the perspective from the Barnetts first in these first set of episodes. And then at some point throughout the series, they're going to switch perspectives. So I'm thinking we're actually going to get Natalia's point of view. What do you think about that approach to storytelling?
I think it's brilliant. That's the best way to get a perspective is from as many angles as possible. But I'm not sure either because I just didn't know about this story to begin with. So I don't have anything to compare it to, with these other docs that have been spoken of. But if they're doing it from the Barnetts and then we're switching to somebody else, especially if it's over a 9-year period, I love it. And also the beginning of episode 2, you know, it seemed like they was gonna make it, but we found out that Michael is married to somebody else, and it's kind of a he said, she said. And the black guy, I don't know what agency he's with, but he's like, we arrested you because of his statement. So they're getting it from the father's side, the mother's side. He's probably making up his own version. So the more perspective, the better. I think that's the best approach.
Tyra, what about you? Is this the way to do this? Because we know that everybody is on opposite sides of the spectrum as it comes to what really happened. My idea, though, and my thing is that the truth is the truth. There is a black and there is a white. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Do you think we'll ever get to the truth of what really happened?
Absolutely not. We still ain't got to. Where do we leave off? Natalia, she tweaking. We still. It's so much more. We could have a part 2 and a part 3 just off of this, alone, her story. I don't know. I want to know how long we're going to linger in what looks to be the wife's perspective, and then we get the father, and it's just like, no, it's still giving more so wife. It's just strange. I don't know how we would abruptly interject and all of a sudden we're seeing something from Natalia's view. I really don't think that's where the story is going. I thought so because that would make sense, because there's no way you could present Natalia in this evil doll fashion and not eventually reverse it to where we can identify with everybody and then pick and choose who we want to believe. I really think it's just going to go straight forward. I don't think we're going to be switching between too much of maybe the wife and the husband, but this is clearly not for Natalia. This is not to depict her in any truthful, light. This is to dig deep into those salacious, those moments that had us looking at Natalia like, well, hell, is she grown? Like, we really don't know, because it was just so many inconsistencies with her story, with her upbringing, with, even where she came from, the adoption. This isn't for her. So, like you said, the question I think everybody watching said was like, who is this for? Is this, who stole the rights? Is it the mom? Like, who is this for? But it's definitely not for Natalia. So I don't see us at any point switching to give us her perspective.
I do. They can't do her like that, Tyra. They got to. If they gotta spend one episode, y'all can't do this girl like this. Y'all can't. Listen, she done already been through too much. But in case you unaware of what this is and what we're talking about, Good American Family is an American drama limited series based on the adoption of Natalia Grace, played by Imogen Faith Reed, by Kristine, played by Ellen Pompeo from Grey's Anatomy, honey, if you know her on Grey's. Okay. And Michael Barnett, played by Mark Duplass. Initially believing Natalia to be a child with dwarfism, the Barnetts slowly begin to question this assumption as the story unfolds. And of course, it just premiered the other day. I thought I would give that a little bit of background. But facts and fiction, timelines, slants, perspectives, and rights. So, Tyra, to answer your question, Michael Barnett, in all of his glory, you see him sitting here like this in the chair next to the actor. He's the only one who sold his rights. Okay, which made a lot of sense for me because when they introduced Michael in the series, this is not the Michael we met in any part of the docuseries. Okay, the fact that they're acting like he gave a damn about anything having to do with Natalia behooves me. And so I will say that I was immediately jarred by the fact that I didn't see the mini mansion. I didn't see the cars.
The cars?
Sports cars. I didn't know about this other little girl they had adopted before. And so, Tyra, I'm going to start with you. First, let's talk about these actors and their counterparts, the real life people. Do you think that everyone is delivering as far as for the characters that they've been casted to? I mean, I know how you feel about Natalia, but Brandon, this is the real Natalia here, okay? She does not look like a monster. I don't know why they did that to that baby. I don't.
I need Michael, I need him to get a little bit more extra. And for anybody who is unfamiliar with Natalia in these people, you could really look at it and be like, well, hell, he's already pretty eccentric and weird. Yeah, I need him to be even more, like go up a notch. I don't know if we're slowly unveiling Michael, but Michael is a choice. There are just scenes and moments with Michael where you can clearly see that he is deranged. You are questioning, like, okay, well, how much of this family is clearly maybe on the spectrum? Has he been, taken advantage of? Like, it's just real outside. I feel like it's pretty tame so far, but I'm just ready for him to turn up. Him shaking the sillies out wasn't enough. I need him to do those punches he was doing in the carpet where he was explaining how Natalia was getting beat up. This mother here, I need them to turn it up. This is a very to say that Michael sold these rights. From what we have heard about the mom, there was always this push and pull with her personality, her dominance over the family. We're not seeing that. We are getting this cookie cutter depiction, and I'm trying to open up this facility. We're not seeing her put tons of pressure on the children that she currently has, trying to instill all this genius into the oldest one so he can, be this Pulitzer Prize future winner, and she can take all of this. Like, it's always been very self-indulgent with her and building her brand and her finances off the backs of her children and adopting mostly children with, disabilities or, hey, I changed that. I made that happen. It's always been that. I'm not seeing that yet. It's very innocent, almost sweet and naive. And, oh, we're just adopting her out the kindness of our heart. Oh, we're none the wiser. Meanwhile, they scouring these streets like bounty hunters for children with disabilities. Yeah, that's not here. Natalia is just, baby, I don't know what that is. That's a character. There's prosthetics there. It can't be anything that they would ever want us to take serious. They lost me when Natalia walked off on that beach. I was like, all right, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Did you see how she walked to the beach? Yeah, Natalia is a Chucky doll. She's evil. It's Megan. It's like a caricature. It's like I kind of hate this for her because there will always be a sector of people who are divided and they're not going to take her serious. It's always going to be a sector of people who thinks that you still lying to this day. She's clearly 57 and lying about it. There's going to be that. This is not helping the narrative.
No, it's not. Oh gosh, Brandon, and I know you don't have any background on who these people are in real life, but are there any standouts for you? And what do you think of the casting so far, just in these first couple of episodes?
Well, of course, yeah, I'm familiar with Ellen Pompeo. Most of us are. I didn't watch the show Grey's Anatomy, but of course, I've seen her around. So as far as the casting with her and these images, I like it. It looks, they look pretty similar. I have no complaints there. I feel completely opposite with Michael over here. They probably could have did a better job. Now, I was fine with the casting before I saw this, but now looking at it, I'm just like, y'all could have did a better job. But Michael is pretty kooky. Tyra, you had an interesting take as well. You said the whole family's on the spectrum. But what is really concerning me is Natalia here, because is the real life girl or whatever? I guess we don't know. Is she a dwarf as well?
She is.
Or
That's her right
Yes.
there. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
and she has really bad like dwarfism. Like she hasn't gotten all her surgeries,
Yeah.
and she really can't walk well unassisted. Like, yeah, but
okay.
that's her. She's a little person as well.
Yeah, they it's funny because they don't look anything alike, but I think to hook people in, it was necessary to make her look like a little goblin, because I know myself. I'm just like, man. I mean, that's what got me. This whole blind adoption thing, and she comes around the corner like, "Mommy, Daddy." It's like, whoa. Like, you don't want to say no to this child that's about to be put in a home, supposedly. So, I thought that was clever. But yeah, they don't look alike, but that's, but overall, I 2 out of 3 for the casting win.
Okay.
I approve, I guess.
Okay. And Ellen, Meredith Grey, okay, from Grey's Anatomy, she vied to be on this project. She was super excited, and I honestly don't get it. She'll always just be Meredith Grey for me. I'm not a huge fan of her as an actress, but I mean, we'll see what happens in the rest of it. So let's get into it. Episode 1, almost like a prayer. Brandon, like you said, this is very much set present time, I guess, right, or in the future. She has just written a book that's made her over $500,000 about how to raise brilliant kids, right? How to be the best mother possible. And so when you see her, at this live reading or conference or whatever, this is her on promotion for her book tour, right? Because she's grown a lot since we flash back. Like she's made a ton of money for the family, because she's this great parent. But of course, she's had this adoption as well. So at this moment, it's almost like all of her dreams and ideals have been manifested, and we see the police coming in to take that all away from her. Brandon, I'm going to start with you. Were you shocked at this? What was going through your mind in this moment? And especially when she says to them, "Do you know who I am? Like,
Right,
you
right.
can't arrest me."
Right. I was this is where it got me hooked, because right after this it got me hooked because we went back. But I didn't like her at first because she just seemed like she had a stick going up the wrong hole, and I didn't like the entitlement. Like anybody just saying, "Do you know who I am?" It's just like, it's just annoying. It's just nails on the chalkboard. But it was a line after that. She was like, "This bitch tried to kill me." So I'm just saying to myself, what in the world is happening to where she is not able to prove her case that she is being manipulated? Like, I mean, it seems pretty easy, cut and dry. This is a monster. This is an impersonator. They're saying they're 7 years old, but they're really, what's Tyler say, 57. Like it doesn't seem like it should be hard to believe. You have all these accolades. I can imagine you know how to articulate yourself. You should be able to be like, hey, evidence here, here, here. Take her to jail, or she needs to die. So for her to get arrested after she just accomplished everything you just mentioned, I'm just like, Natalia must be a mad genius, from the MCU or something. What did she cook up to where she is still able to escape? So to answer your question, it got me excited. Like, what are we about to get into? I got to find out.
Oh yeah, like I said, buckle your seatbelt, Brandon, because it gets even worse. Sir. It'll all come together in time. Tyra, how did you think? And again, you know the story, the opening scene. If you were coming in blind, would this have got you? Would you have been like, all right, let me sit down for a minute and see what they going through?
I mean, if I were coming in blind, absolutely, because it's just like there's this, of course, this pompous attitude. You know, she done pulled herself up. We are no longer in house daycare. Like, no, we've made it all the way to this point, and you could tell once you get more into her character, this is what she's always wanted. I'm here at the pinnacle of my success, and here we go, Natalia, yet again, undercutting my situation, having me arrested. I can't never have nothing. This witch tried to kill me. You're gonna arrest me? Like, there's that. But with you knowing the story. With you knowing the story, and not going to spoil it for anybody, but where Natalia is and why she's there, in this woman's reasoning, it's just like, how are we going to finesse this in this show to make it where it's okay? Because it's just not. I can't wait to get to those moments to see how she rationalizes those conditions and choosing the latter in her mind, aside from, hey, this is X, Y, and Z. Let me call the cops. Let me give Natalia back. Let me figure out something else because this isn't working. No, we choose this and then get mad when the cops roll up at the mall.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And are your kids in danger? Because then the CPS people come to the house. Like, we think that children are being neglected here. It's really a mess. So we go in. And now we're back, right? We're back to the original days, pre-Natalia, all right? And we see that there is this tumultuous nature to the relationship already, even before Natalia comes back, because apparently they had another little girl that they had adopted, and things had fell through, apparently at the hand of Kristine. And so Michael's bitter. He's not sleeping in the room with her, not sleeping in the bed with her, excuse me. And so one of the I mean, this is the scene that stood out to me, honey. He's laying down on the side of the bed. And I'm going to start with you, Tyra. And, you know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but he's down there, you know, she's like, you know, you sure you don't want to, how long are you going to, you know, hold this against me? You're not going to sleep in the bed anymore. No, I'm fine. I'm going to sleep down here on the floor. 2 seconds later, there was rustling about, and I'm like, what's going on? We see her, and she rubbing all on her décolletage and her arm, like, girl, and we hear, I had to rewind it because I said, what's going on? Because the next scene we see is she talking to her mama, talking about, I didn't think I'd marry a man who'd be spilling his seed on my bedroom floor. Tyra, what was this about, and what were we supposed to gain from this?
Girl, what in the prison movie is going on here? What is going on here? This was alarming for anybody who is familiar with the story. Okay, if you're not familiar, you're going to see this and just go like, what the hell? This is weird. Like, what's going on here? And just probably laugh it off. This easily, in my head, I don't know about anybody else's, but it turned into something sexual because it seems that there is a disconnect and lacking in intimacy in their marriage because this little girl that was adopted and removed from the home or whatever, he's just, I can't get it up. Not with you anyway, but I can still get it up and spill the seed laying on this floor next to you. It's weird. It's very, very weird. And it gets even weirder with the show continuing. And it seems like as soon, the moment that we adopt Natalia, not only is the sex drive in full gear, but now we can sleep in the bed. Now we want to sleep with our wife. Now we want to toot it and boot it on the kitchen sink. I was like, what the hell? What are we supposed to do with this? I don't like this because there was mentioning in the real life situation about his inconsistencies as far as his relationship with Natalia and how far it went and what he maybe did or didn't do to her sexually. But we haven't been, you know, confirming that. That's nothing that Natalia has said, and it was just always denied. But to put something like this here, it leaves it wide open to go, there is something sexual or arousing to you as far as these little girls are concerned. I just saw him on the phone, so don't give them no children. Don't give them no children. Take their children. Get everybody out of the home. It's an unsafe situation. But it just was more. This is probably something more for people who haven't seen it and just something quirky. You go like, what the hell? What's going on in their marriage? What kind of man is this? Why is he yakking off on the floor? Like, this is weird. But if you put it into the context of the history and some of the things that the wife Kristine eventually says, it's like, okay, yeah. And then the bond that he has with Natalia, the entire show doesn't help either. And she's gravitating. And you know how the orphan went. She was over there biding time so she can get with that lady husband, and she was really 35. That, you know, that she pulled out them false teeth. It was all of that. but this was just extremely weird if taken out of the context of this show.
Absolutely. And again, this is coming from the man who said that his wife sexually abused him by
Mhm.
withholding sex from him.
Yeah,
So again,
weird.
this is a yarn, and this sounds well. This looks a lot like from Kristine's perspective because she is the one who made the accusation that there was impropriety on his part as it relates to Natalia Grace. Now, Brandon, I'm gonna ask you because I know you don't know about the history. What did this scene? Was your mouth hanging open? Were you like aghast when you saw this? What was going on for you in this?
100%. But first, I gotta say, Tara, my goodness, I had no idea. That changed my whole perspective. Now, I understand where you're coming from, and like now, I'm putting myself in your shoes. When you watching this, you probably like, oh God, like I was too, but for different reasons. I really hated Michael right here because I thought this was just cruel and mean. Like, how you gonna masturbate with your wife right there? Like, I mean, this sometimes I have no experience with marriage, of course. Well, I want to say, of course, I'm not married. I have no experience, but I do know when couples are married 35, 40, 45 plus years, they still have their intimate times together, but they have the times where they leave each other the hell alone. So I don't see the problem of occasionally the spouses have the separate rooms just for whatever reason. It could be a number of reasons, but so that's not the issue, that he was sleeping in another room than his wife here for whatever reason. But the fact that you would like pleasure yourself like that in front of your wife, being mean, kind of torturing her, like that's just messed up. I mean, that's just kind of just low down, dirty and cruel, and I don't see how the relationship will last like that. I mean, he was just an a-hole to me like that. But I mean, those are my thoughts. I really thought he was despicable because of that. But yeah, Tyra, you just kind of added a whole nother layer to this, which is, and it makes me also think, because I think at the end of episode 1, and I hope I'm not jumping too far ahead, when Ellen, that's her real name, Kristine was just saying, hey, I'm not really bonding with her, but she's bonding with Michael. This sucks. I feel bad. There was a scene to where it was a bird's eye view, and she was like laying down on a beanbag chair, and Michael went and laid down next to her, and that was a bit weird for me. And I didn't even have the backstory information, but now that I do, I look at that scene even more, and just like kind of want to puke a little bit. But
Weird.
yeah, and the whole spilling the seed line was funny. I've never heard it put that way before, so that was funny.
Weird. It's like I want, some spilling of the seed, but I just find you so undesirable and repulsive at the moment because we've lost this adoptee little girl that I'm gonna do it on the floor next to you. Like, yeah, it gives a whole new look to Michael, and it's sick. That's why I was like, and you saying Michael sold the rights, but I guess they have the right to do whatever they want to do with it.
And that's that long disclaimer that you get before
Yeah.
that kind of precedes episode 1, where they're like, this is a bunch of different accounts. This is not one straightforward idea. But in general, the whole entire way that Michael is depicted in these first 2 episodes couldn't be further from the truth. Like I said, he didn't give a damn about Natalia. Not from what we saw, not from how he acted.
I was at work.
Listen,
That was Michael's excuse for I was at work. I was just getting off. Natalia was in the corner for 5 hours and 5 days, and I didn't know what to do. Then she knocked the phone out of my hand. Just very irate. All of this bonding that they have going on here is crazy.
Unheard of. And like I do, and you'll watch it, and if you watch it back, you'll definitely see there are some weird holds. There are some weird ways he's picking her up, and she's like legs wrapped around him. There's some real inappropriate type of situations. I know this actress is a grown A woman, but yeah. So past adoptions and I Want More. Again, seemingly this was the perfect nuclear family.
Whoa. I'm sorry. You said the actress, the girl, is a grown woman? The girl that's playing the actress of Natalia is a grown woman. So she has dwarfism in real life.
17, 18, I think. She might be older than that.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm okay. Thank you.
But yeah, past adoptions and I Want More. Of course, Kristine, and in real life, Kristine, we're impressed with this idea that she is the person who always wants more, right? She feels like she has corrected her autistic son. She's made him a genius, she feels like. because he's, gone to Purdue at 12 and he's doing all of these things. And she just feels like she is the hope for all humanity. Like she is the queen mother. And the more children that she can acquire and change, the better her reputation will be for this whole life that she has planned for herself, whether it's the community center, whether it's books, whether it's a national tour on parenting. I mean, she's just the person who wants more than what they have. And I'm gonna start with you, Brandon, here. If you're in this position, right? If you're in this nuclear family, you've got 2.5 kids, you're happy, you live in the suburbs, you're living your life. Would you be able to support a wife like Kristine? And how do you take them before the adoption of Natalia and after? Did you see like a stark contrast between the two?
I don't know. Well, to answer your first question, I personally would not be able to uh, be with somebody like Kristine. It just wouldn't work. They're constantly wanting more. Just the whole presentation of Natalia, it was so impulsive, 24 hours, and you're just okay with it. And I think in the future or in the present day, Michael said that she has a savior complex, and that's just not my vibe. You can't save everybody. I respect those people that do. I think that's incredible. I love you for it, but it's just not me. I just don't have it in me. Um, I've never even thought about adoption in that serious. I don't know. I'm not opposed to it, but it's just not anything that I desire. But so again, I applaud those that can, but for her, it does seem like she's, instead of trying to help people, trying to fill some void or something that happened to her. We know that the relationship with the father was the best. And we'll probably dive into that. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the other thing with this, and Tyra, I'm gonna come to you. I think what's so jarring about a person like Kristine and now having this information about a previous adoption is that I feel like in my heart of hearts, in real life and in the show, she's kind of cherry picking. Like I'm going through these adopted children. I can send them back, right? There's always a return policy. And I'll just keep going until I get that one that I can manage and manipulate into what I want or what I need to achieve the next level. If you're in this family, are you doing another adoption? And what do you think about just her desire for more, more, more?
Ma'am, I work at Circuit City.
Sure.
I work at Circuit City, ma'am. that there's that, ma'am. Okay, I work at the Circuit City. It's only so much income to go around. Let's start there. All of the like this here, the fees, the cost of adopting. And it's not like she was like, well, I'm just taking, what comes to me, and we're making the best decision based on the child. No, if you know anything about Kristine in this obsession that she had with helping anybody who was in need, and this gratification that she got out of kind of a challenge that she was able to help or feel like she progressed someone with a mental or physical disability, it was there like from birth. So it's not like we're, oh no, like you said, we're cherry picking and going, well, yeah, I'm going to adopt this child with this mental or physical capacity to maybe overcome these obstacles and get my bread and butter off of that. But if you don't fit this mold, like I guess we're gonna skip over with the oldest son to see and really press into what she was instilling to get him to the point where we're sitting down with the college and Princeton and prospects like this. This wasn't something that was just, oh, he's just a genius out the womb. Like, no, she was instilling and doing all these things to these children to get them to this point. But if you don't have that capacity to pick up something as swiftly or fall in line with the rest of the family as far as the goals I'm trying to accomplish, I'm gonna go and send you back. I'm gonna go and send you back. So the way that it's depicted here, like, oh, we lost this daughter, and Michael ain't been right ever since. So for us to fill this void and make our family whole again, we need another daughter that just happens to be, have dwarfism. Like, no. You were starting and seeking this out to like feed into your own ambition of what you wanted to accomplish with your businesses, your family, the optics of it. This was a business venture for Kristine.
Mm-hmm.
But this is crazy. I'm like, he worked at Circuit City, babes.
Mhm.
It's just this isn't that. And in the meantime, of course, with the I don't know how adoption goes. Like, do you get it? Well, I know we know with Natalia, because she does have a disability, that there were, fees and food stamps and government assistance and Social Security and things like that. But I'm like, if you're getting this for all of the children you're adopting, that's also, a bang for the buck. This was, all about the money here. I'm just really interested to see more of Kristine and how we're painting this, because it's like, if this is Michael's or whatever, why is this, from the looks of it at this point, it seems to favor Kristine?
It does, at least in these first couple episodes. Now, this next portion of episode 1 was probably the one that most closely mirrored reality, what happened, in terms of at least what happened after they got to the adoption agency. Listen, I do think that Kristine was on everybody's list looking for a child. I think she was on everybody's list. So again, it wasn't a surprise when this crooked lady called. But my thing is, there were 18 red flags that went off in this meeting, right? You only got 24 hours. Well, can I see her paperwork? Does she have any history of anything? Well, no, we don't have that right now. But, next thing was, oh yeah, we're going to go ahead and add all of her surgery and medical costs to your fee. So yeah, just know that I need you to sign the dotted line right now. No evaluations, no assessments, no history, unless you want her to go into the system, then that's a whole other process. Secondly, firstly, when I go to this back alley, weird extended stay hotel room to actually make a deal with you, that probably would have been my first clue. And then finally, y'all don't have no money. Y'all have no money. They said they spent all of their money driving down here to South Carolina. Was it South Carolina to get this child? So what are you going to do with her when you get her? Well, we'll just rob Peter to pay Paul. You remember that money you got for your community center? Oh yeah, let's just take that and we'll add that to this, and we are going to go home today with Natalia. Tyra, I'm starting with you because I'm going home. Keep her, and God bless.
Baby, if you ever roll up to any adopting agency and it's giving storefront flea market, run the other way. This just goes to show how false the other depiction is of the intentions that we had going here, and it's just out of the kindness of our heart, and we need that baby girl, and we were desperate. We're not talking about all them conventions they were rolling up on, like, hey, any good disabled children in here? We're trying to make, there was a whole process. This wasn't, their second attempt or anything like that. This was insane. This was insane. It really makes you wary of the adoption process in the system. Like, hopefully these back alley situations aren't common, because this is very harsh, but it just goes to show where the intent lied. Now, they can depict it here as we were doing this out the kindness of our heart, but we know why Kristine rolled up there and threw every single red flag: a lack of paperwork. Oh, she's with the family. Natalia literally screaming through the wall and making animalistic noises and stuff. It was just crazy. It was just crazy. Everything in this whole situation said, go the other way. Do not only adopt this baby, but you might need to call some folks. This is something terrible. And we went ahead and did it because we just, we're trying to fill this void. No, you were trying to fill some bank, but all right.
And then come to find out, y'all ain't even gonna be able to get nothing off Natalia.
No, nothing.
Even right. Brandon, talk to me about this scene. You already said you're not adopting, and under these circumstances, I know you're really
not adopting. He said he's spilling seed. I ain't trying to adopt. I'm trying to spill seed.
Not about. I wouldn't even have pulled in when it was like we're here, and I'm like, we're at a motel. No, keep going. This is insane. Like, why did they have to take her to Google the place like 2 weeks later to determine? I mean, like, come on, man. That y'all should have did the Google search before you got in the car or the plane or whatever. So, yeah, this whole thing was wild. Like you said, the temper tantrum noise that they heard. Why are you not asking questions? Like, what was that? Oh no, just a little. I don't know what you said. Rigmarole. Like, that is not. You just let that slide like this. You have other children that you have to protect too. I mean, it's crazy. And what really got me, like I said, was the money. Like just $7,000 out of nowhere. It makes sense that they're divorced now. I mean, they say one of the main reasons people divorce is because of money and finances. And like you said, if they had Rob and Peter to pay Paul, and he works at Circuit City, like you said, this just doesn't make any sense. I mean, she said we can. I don't know, that was a different point, but we can cut corners until the next paycheck or something like that. So this is I mean, this is just stupid. It was crazy. The whole South Carolina, New Jersey thing with the states, like which state is it? Oh, neither. And she really couldn't give an answer. Yeah, just red flag after red flag after red flag. So
It was Natalia coming. Are you gonna be my new mommy and daddy? I was like, what movie is this?
yeah.
This is awful. This is truly awful. I will say, at least with Kristine, they do kind of dabble in the imagery of it all. Like when the lady is, oh, this is so great. My baby can read. Let me offer you some money. Like, oh no, we're good. We're fine. This isn't. But like, no, girl, you wanted a check, but she always wanted to appear in the public eye to be a certain way that she absolutely wasn't. At least we kind of get into that a little bit.
Or just barely. Because again, there's no way. I see Natalia, even after all the red flags, I see her. Mommy. Yeah, I'm going the other way. No, thank you. I can't. I'm not going to be able to do this.
No, then she's like, I haven't really ate, is it dinner time? I haven't eaten in like 3 weeks, but it's fine. I can wait. I'm really a dinner kind of girl. I'm a snack girl. Like, they're not feeding you here.
Like, why is she outside in the parking lot by herself? Disabled at that. It's just.
And mind you, we're supposed to think that she's 7 years old. Yeah. With this perfect speech, and not only that, but an immigrant. So we just aren't asking any questions at this point. We are going to take her home. We're going to take her to the hotel. Now, this is where they kind of deviate from what really happened, because we don't get there's hair scene until the end of episode 2. But in real life, the night they stay in the hotel and they're trying to give her a bath is when that all comes out. But yeah, there's just no way I had to put that in there. And so we kind of see our first interaction as we're on the beach. You guys talked about it. You get what you get, and you don't get upset, Natalia, because I'm gonna set the rules right now. And you get that Kristine is a Karen, right? She is one of those people who I need to lay down the law right now. No, Natalia, just because you're new doesn't mean you're going to run everything. And so this is our first interaction, seeing the boys interact with her and Michael and his attention to her. Oh no, it's fine. I'll just take her. So Kristine is the heavy. Michael is good cop. I'm gonna start with you, Brandon. You get what you get, and you don't get upset. What do you think of Kristine's style of parenting and just these whole, first day with Natalia?
It sucks. Like, what are you doing? Why are you letting the boys? I mean, she shouldn't be throwing temper tantrum, Natalia, but I kind of sided with her. Like, I'm not saying that she should get what she wants, especially when you act that way. But like, hey, okay. She's disabled, or supposedly, before we saw her running. How do you think she's going to feel? You don't want her to feel neglected. She's already been sent back from the previous family. So you allow your other boys to go run with their legs to where they can't see. And when she wants to go out there, be like, yeah, let me eat my pancakes first. You have to wait because you're disabled. That's ridiculous. And they got mad at her for it. And then you don't even let the husband go. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. I can go carry her. And she's like, no, I want you to eat your food. Like, why are you treating Michael like he's a child? So I didn't like that. But the whole temper tantrum thing, throwing the plate, we can't have that either. So she's kind of a a-hole. I don't like her parenting style.
Lord. Does this track, Tyra, with the Kristine that we heard and know?
No. No. It was Kristine and Michael budgeting. Like we just make a little pit stop. We're gonna let the children eat. We ain't even got nothing in the budget for us to eat. And she's like, you know what? I'm actually full. Wait a minute, I thought she said you weren't hungry. Don't waste not want now, girl. We ain't wasting no food. We already broke. I'm gonna go finish these rations.
Girl.
What the hell? Child, when Natalia's like, I want to go. Like, that's not fair. It's just like, oh, hell, I'll go my damn self. Why?
'Cause in real
Why?
life, she ain't ran nowhere. That baby can't run.
And she's just looking like the red flags as soon like the way I would have sit Natalia, like we would have went the little U-turn, went right back to the agency. Oh hell no. Hell no. Like all of the immediate favoritism for the dad, like it's like Natalia had set her sights on like I know what I'm here for. Like why are we doing this? Where is this diabolical like oh daddy can you I was like what is happening?
They didn't. They didn't even ask about the running. They talked about it amongst themselves, but they didn't even ask.
It's like, oh, well, I mean, you know, she can sometimes, like, they just rationalize it away when this would be the ultimate red flag that we have no clue what we're dealing with. Like, this is crazy. This was really, really funny. This was extremely funny, and I ran it back like 3 times.
I didn't like the fact that they were talking about it in front of her on the plane either. Like, you know, she had the headphones on, but you don't know if she's listening or not. I thought that was over the top too.
Yeah, everything here is just over the top, but it was just really funny. But it's yet another, you know, red flag that they ignored. But the Kristine that we know, baby, this wouldn't have happened. This wouldn't have happened. Like Kristine ruled this house with an iron fist. So this niceness and all the patience that she has, and oh no, like is this like it's like who is this? That's why the narrative of it all is just strange. But like you say, you sell these rights away, they can do whatever they want to.
They can do whatever they want. And the next night for Natalia to say to her, you get what you get and you don't get upset. Little demon seed. And even like the cutaways and you see her looking at Kristine crazy and smiling at, you know, Michael in the background, completely unhinged, y'all. And so we see more of Natalia that first night again. Natalia funky at this point, refusing to take a bath and then push big Kristine all in the tub. So much so she can't give Michael no cootenanny because now he's in the mood. Right, because they have their nuclear family back. And so she's setting up for her grand opening of the community center. Her bestie done loaned her money since they had to spend all their money getting Natalia. And so we're having the opening. Natalia's supposed to be back there with her daddy. Any other time she want to be up under Michael, but this time in the middle of the speech, mommy, can you help me with my dress? I want my mommy to help me with my dress. Knowing y'all was just fighting, you just threw her down the thing. Natalia, normally when you hurt somebody, you ask if they're okay. And there's like this delay. Oh, mommy, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, mommy. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And so now we have our perfect family and community center. It's all looking good because at the end of the day, Kristine's about appearances, no matter what's seething under the surface. Tyra, I'm going to start as we wrap up episode 1.
No, it was just Natalia, the honorary, like, Natalia in the conditions that she had left, things that she had been through, going through, you know, these multiple families, which I'm sure we'll kind of get into, just the circumstances. It was always this need of, like, I can't wait to be settled and have my own family. I've never even really just had my own room. So the fact when she just like here's Calvin, like, ta-da, like, what do you think? She's like, it's, you know, it's okay. A little babyish, like, ew, like, who the, I was all of the ungrateful, all of the immediate, it just makes it feel like the moment that they brought Natalia, like the moment they got in the car, it was immediate, like a switch went on and she was just evil. And, you know, manipulator and moo ha ha ha, and, you know, getting into her master plan, like, I'm just biding time until I get next to daddy. Like, I would really love to hear how the actual Natalia feels about this. But yeah, all of the attacking, and I don't like baths. We don't like doctors. I don't like. We are really setting up the narrative for everybody around Kristine to go, but she's just a child. She's just a little girl. Like, how could she do all these things? Meanwhile, Kristine is depicted to be just losing her freaking mind. And Michael is the rational one? Like, in what world? In what world would Michael ever be rational, in control of anything, able to walk in and check Kristine and go, what are you doing? Put this down. Like, oh, like, at this point in the first episode, the situation with the knife, and she's like, and it's not crazy because we do have Kristine on record saying that I don't care what anybody says. This is what I saw. She was standing at the foot of our bed with a knife, like she was about to go in, and regardless of anything, Michael, who has been brutally pushed and pulled so many different ways with his narrative and his story, he has consistently said out of his mouth, yeah, Kristine may be a lot of things, but yeah, I saw that too. She had the knife. She was standing there. But we have him on the other end of everything just going, oh, this isn't what that is. Are you losing it? Go, let me give you some on the counter. Because clearly you need some affection. You're losing your mind as if it's, something that's attached to her family bloodline and history. You're going and saying like your father. Yeah, all of these things are new and concocted to be here because Kristine was very much so in control.
Absolutely. And the fact that we never heard of her mama and now we see her making potted meats. I'm like, what is the point of this? Brandon, as we wrap up episode 1, the perfect family and community center. I mean, like we do have knife scares, we do have outbursts at this point, but at the end of the day, we are going to seal it with a hug and everything's okay. Is everything okay?
No. Get out of there while you're alive now. This is wow. That is a nightmare. Where do I start? First of all, I'm really bothered by Michael, finally being sexually aroused now that he wants to, get in bed with his wife and be like, hey, what's going on? Why don't you scoot on over? I'm taking off my shirt. I've been doing push-ups, I mean, the fact that it took an adoption of a little girl to kind of get you up and going like that is it's just weird, and I guess that's kind of what he gets because they wasn't able to proceed because his wife was bruised. But what's really frustrating me is just the lack of communication between them, like how they're just not sharing information or why they just don't trust each other. I mean, why would I not believe my wife if she says, hey, the little girl at the edge of my bed was here with the knife? Like, I mean, come on, why would my wife make that up? Like, what is the reason? And Michael is just so willfully dense. It's sad. I don't like him. I know he's probably going to end up dead in the show. Because I mean, also think about Orphan. If we seen that movie, how he was reacting towards Steve, like, oh my god, I don't
never believe the wife until it's too late.
Yeah, and I feel like that's just going to be the same thing here, and I'm just like, it's going to be your fault. I just it's weird. I talked about it earlier. The bird's eye view beanbag chair scene. You go back and look how big her legs are, Natalia. Like no 7-year-old's legs are going to be that huge, even if you are a dwarf. So just another red flag that was ignored. But yeah, he's but shame on Michael for not believing his wife. You deserve everything that that's coming to you, and just put your freaking foot down. Like, I don't like okay, your wife is trying to give a presentation. The little girl goes out there. No, you don't want to be all irate and yell at her in front of everybody. But can we have a conversation to where, like, look, this is not how you conduct yourself. When we are doing this, you have to be patient. You can't get your way. That just never happens. We just have to assume that these lessons are taught, but I'm assuming they're not. So, but yeah, crazy ending.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder why they felt the need to like turn it up a notch because the story is enough in itself as far as just the inconsistencies. If you watch any of the docs, you as a viewer, even if you do know the truth, you question and go, well, how old is Natalia again? Or why are all of these scenarios always surrounding Natalia to where it just seems like something is off? We could have just leaned into that, but we decided to go even further, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the only truth of that is that he is not a leader. Michael is as passive as the day is long. He's a simp. He's all of the bad things.
Yeah.
He's nothing of a man, nothing of the sort. Bookworm, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you for your perspective. This may be a struggle, in my opinion.
See what I did there? See what you did there?
We're gonna make the best of it. We're gonna make the best of it. Now we're to episode 2. Let's jump the jitters out. And again, this is a Michael, like I said, Michael was working all the time, according to him. He was not really present for any of the rearing of Natalia in real life. So it's so far-fetched to me that he's bringing your daughter to work day. I mean, it's all of this in this episode. But as this episode opens up, we see him talking to Mr. Black Man. And he says, I need to tell my story because I loved my daughter. Well, where is your daughter now? Is she with Kristine? No. Kristine hated her. Kristine hated her stinking guts. And this is when we're going to get into Michael. And I kind of echoed Tyra's sentiment in terms of he's going to have to cut it up. This is the time. Like episode 3 and beyond, we need to see the Michael that we saw in the doc. I need him amped up because he's such a born ham, the real life Michael Barnett, that it goes beyond quirky. It goes to a complete level of unhingedness, and I needed to say that. I will say this is another part that they got true, right? In the real account of everything, after everything's said and done, and I won't spoil it, the police get a tip. And so they approach Michael, and Michael tells on everybody. Mike, loose lips sink ships. He gonna tell it. He is not the person that you tell any of your deepest, darkest secrets to, because he is going to run his mouth. So he's thinking he's buddy with the cop. He's telling him all of this, and so he not only gets Kristen in trouble, he ends up getting himself in trouble. Tyra, talk to me. Talk to me about Michael, his salt and pepper beard. You know, he's married now, and him needing to tell his story.
I just love how Michael aged at least 30 years in 9. Michael is tired. I thought at this point we were going to like have a really strong shift, and it'll be like Michael's perspective. Mm-hmm. My issue with it, even though we are hitting these beats of, well, yeah, this did happen. Okay, yeah, there is definitely some truth in that. How are we going to have this Michael and this Kristine turn up to, especially Kristine, to where we're in control and kind of getting into the torment of Natalia? Like, how is that shift going to happen if we're painting them to be such naive, positive, where we just want to be good parents and Natalia's a Chucky doll? Like, how are we going to make that leap? And if it's going to be this, is it going to be this the entire time? Is everybody just going to be none the wiser? I don't know. But I thought at this point we would kind of leap into it because we do have him go like, oh, she's, Kristine might as well be a succubus. She's evil. Like, it's just awful. And then we cut and it's just, we're still, she had a knife and it's still, very nice with Kristine. So I'm like, where is the shift? What I did appreciate in this episode was us kind of getting more into the secrecy where we have, the mom, well, okay, we're not going to tell daddy about this. And then eventually we have Michael like, okay, yeah, we're not gonna, and them kind of handling Natalia in their own ways. What I didn't get was us having Michael say this, and then we shift. And not only is it Kristine's perspective, but it's like I don't even. It's just weird to where she would pick and choose, but it's just hard for me to digest this because the story is being depicted as if Michael is in control of anything. And I just don't know what to do with that. we just know that he was a shell, complacent, nothing of a man at her beck and call, would probably kiss the ground that Kristine walked on if she asked him to. And I'm just going to go to my job and drive my cars and just be irate. Might as well have been a child. So when it's here and it's like, well, yeah, we can't take this happiness away from Michael. Look how he's in such a good mood. Like, we wouldn't want to do that now, would we? It's just strange. And I really wish that they committed to who these people were. But I will be interested to see the evil kick in with these other characters. Is it just going to be Natalia, or is everybody else going to be nasty as well?
They're going to have to. We're going to have to go there. If they're going to do justice to the story, they have to do that. Bookworm 57, thank you for going around and showing everybody love tonight. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. I will hang for the limited series and fun. I know that's right, friend. Be here. And then thank you so much again for a $4.99 super sticker. We appreciate you so much. Brandon.
Yes.
Were you ready to hear Michael's story?
Yeah, I was, because this is where we kind of got another time jump. And I'm just saying to myself, what happened? Like, who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy? Like, Kristine and Natalia are not even communicating. They hate each other per what Michael is saying here. So I'm asking myself, then why is the story still being told? Like, is this the end? Or by episode 6, 7, 8, or 9, are we going to be in year 2023 or 2025 or something like that? I don't know. I guess you guys would know that more than me because, y'all know the backstory. But also I have to know what happens because, like you said, he's remarried to the Circuit City girl. That was her that was walking around in the store that was babysitting Natalia, excuse me, when she was younger, because yeah, Natalia couldn't go to school, so she was like, hey, can you take her with you? And then his current wife that we see in this scene was supposed to be watching her at the store. So I'm like, whoa, how did that go down?
Yeah.
This is, I mean, Kristine is big time. She's doing deals and opening centers and stuff. She's in the news. She's getting arrested in public. So everybody knows who she is. So for the Circuit City person, she has to know the whole story, what everybody knows. So for her to still marry Michael, it kind of shines some light on him that he may be the good guy. And Kristine may be the devil, but I don't know. They both could be the devil. Everybody could be the devil. I don't know, but I'm ready and willing and excited to find out. So like I got all of that from like this opening here.
I like that. I like that, Brandon. And I say keep that in your mind. Everybody can be the devil. Because I don't think any of these people are saints, to be honest with you. So now you say it's time. It's time to put Natalia in school. Listen, Kristine was like, all right, enough of that around here. You got to get up at my house in the day. I need my time to do my business and homeschool my son. And he can write on the windows, but you can't write on the windows, Natalia. And so now it's time to take her to school. She done changed her outfit, honey. She done borrowed the brother's clothes. She said, it makes me look like a little 5-year-old girl. Okay, girl. And so now we're at school and we have this bootleg bogus paperwork that they didn't bother to take to vital statistics, to the state. I thought when I'm adopted. My mama did do it the proper way though. She went through an actual legal like adoption attorney and all of that. But you didn't think to take that heifer to the state to go to vital statistics, to do her fingerprints, to get some kind of card, make sure her birth certificate was translated or converted to the U.S. Like you didn't do any of that. So she goes in there being the Karen that she is, and the lady in the office is like, what you want me to do with this? It ain't even in English, and half of the stuff is blacked out, like it's redacted. And she says, well, I know the principal. Let me speak to okay, principal, can Natalia come here for the day, or whatever? Yeah, we can get her in. We have a grace period and all of that. And she was like, well, good. Later we get a call from that same principal, says, you should have warned me. You set me up for the okie doke. You didn't tell me Natalia had behavioral issues. Natalia has no behavioral issues. Well, she's running her wheelchair, her cane over the people in the school. So, well, what did they do to her? Would that justify her hurting them? No, but we're saying she's the bully. She's the bully. Brandon, I'm starting with you. I mean, can she come to your school with a redacted birth certificate? Like, I thought the receptionist was kind of nasty because this is a kid at the end of the day who needs to be in school, right? You couldn't have called somebody. You couldn't have gave her a tip. You just like, nope, I don't know what to do. Ain't nothing I can do for you.
Teacher here. People be trying to pull the wool over folks' eyes, and we have to deal with it. No, get her out. Get her done. Nope, come here with the actual factual, because people need to know who and what they are dealing with and what we have to embrace with the rest of the collection of 25 children here in this room. Absolutely not. Get you and this false paperwork out my face.
Brandon.
Yeah, I thought the clerk or the receptionist, I thought she was hilarious because I was with her. Just like there was a sarcasm, just like, so what am I supposed to put her? I laughed my ass off because I was with her too. I mean, you have this a child coming in looking like all outside, I would be afraid too. And that just doesn't make any sense. Like you said, why don't she go to the state? It's like it was like Kristine had looked at the paperwork the first time while she was at the school herself. Like it was news to her that it was in Ukrainian and everything was blacked out. I mean, I don't know. What do you expect? It was tickling me on the inside that she was getting so frustrated with the school lady, like, like she expected her to accept her. Like, what do you mean? Like, why are you asking all these questions? Just accept this random child with no identity in school. Like, what are you doing? We do this all the time. This is peanut butter and jelly, So it just bothered me, like, why it wasn't a concern of her. Like, she just like, oh, of course, all records are redacted with blacked out dates. Like, what do you mean? So that was weird, but I did like the lady. She was a-okay with me.
So I was the only one. Like, dang,
Oh,
put her in the study hall.
I wish we would have saw her ram the other kids. That would have been
Yes, absolutely. I was gonna say that, B.
Out here torturing them kids. Let them tell it. Tyra, what?
I was going to say that, like, I really wanted them to, because those are the things that we aren't privy to. We hear about it, but those moments with Natalia outside of their family are the things that seems more factual, because you can see over the time with her history, there's been situations where she has been, reactionary and volatile, and you'll have Natalia, yeah, I don't remember that. I don't want to talk about that. What? They said I did what? Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. Like, there is a history of Natalia's behavior, so that would make sense. I would have loved to have seen that. Yeah, let me see. I want to see I wanted to see the little Grinch teeth pop out as she was rolling over toes. I wanted to see that. I will say I do like us getting into Kristine resting in her white womanhood. Like, just take her. Like, what do you mean? But I'm asking you to, so why wouldn't you do it? I'm Kristine. And you kind of see the same thing when she goes to the age. It's like, well, you could just, walk away, go to the bathroom, and I could just take a little peek-see so we can overdo it. Like, no, ma'am, this is my job. This is my job. Like, aren't you a special one? You're funny. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Like, but it's just, things, as far as Kristine, it's just like expected, because I am who I am. And if she could have that kind of energy, and at this point, hell, who the hell was Kristine? But she already had that sense of superiority. I do like that, but that was funny. I wanted to see, let us see these actions. I want to see her rolling out and laying down little tacks. I want to see it. Like, if you guys are going to commit to giving her, and I'm not sure where all she has prosthetics, because sometimes the skin looks weird. Sometimes she has a slump forehead and it gives, cannibal. But there's that. I want to see, like, just go ridiculous with it. I want to see her creeping out of bed, and it's just like, I don't know how to walk. My legs don't work. And she just, I want to see the leprechaun Chucky Megan. I want to see the little puppet man. I want to see her ass just run rampant.
Have y'all seen The Good Son? Have y'all seen The Good Son?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see that. I want to see that. Don't F with me, Mark. Like, hey, Mark. I want to see all of those things, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think that would be really, really good. But I guess I'm just looking forward to Kristine becoming unhinged, because so far we don't really see that. So what exactly pushes her over the edge if it's not her standing at the foot of your bed with this knife? Why are you still being so patient and allowing her to just kind of rule with these tricks? I don't know. Torture at this point.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's chopping the heads off her stuffed animals with the knives. She's hiding knives. Now, all about my child, all about my son walking and hurting his feet on these thumbtacks. Natalia would have been out on the curb with her little raggedy duffel bag. And yes, her face definitely is giving fetal alcohol syndrome. I went and I looked up this actress, and she was born in 1997. So this is
she's 30, like 30 years old, 27,
20 woman. So I think that fetal alcohol cleft palate thing, I think that's definitely prosthesis, or like, I mean, just some solid makeup. But again, the knives, the lies, thumbtacks, and bullying. Again, she's a terror. She's terrorizing her siblings now. She's hide your kids, hide your wife. She's burying knives. She's standing at the foots of beds. And I don't even know how you get that idea to put the thumbtacks out the front door. You just know your brother goes out there barefoot every morning, probably to get the paper. Little diabolical little wench based on what we're getting so far. Brandon, talk to me about it. Were you surprised? And I mean, even in this picture, I think it's fully capturing the essence of who they want us to believe Natalia is in this second episode.
Yeah. I mean, it's more on the parents, Kristine and Michael. I don't know why she was wrestling with her with a knife. No, you don't want to allow her to do that. But Jesus, you could have died right there, cut a artery, and you bleeding out on the floor in your own house by somebody that's been there a few weeks. Like that is just crazy to me right there. And chopping the heads off of stuffed animals is not normal. Okay, this is Jeffrey Dahmer stuff, and like I mean okay, but you gotta work up the courage to tell mom yourself. What child snitches on themselves? Like that's never happened ever. So for him to have those expectations is just dumb. The saving grace about it is we know that they didn't work out, so it's not that frustrating because they don't communicate at all. And I mean, and his reaction to the text, like, oh, it's going to be okay. Like, why are you not irate? Why are you not grabbing her and stringing her up against the wall? Like, you just don't do this. It's just like, okay, slap on the wrist, pat on the back type thing. But yeah, it's just every 10 minutes she's doing something more just to show how evil and deceiving she is. But they're just ignoring it and not wanting to. He doesn't want to talk about Circuit City or the doll, and she doesn't want to talk about the freaking daycare or the agency being closed or whatever. I'm getting off topic, but yeah, she's evil and they're stupid for ignoring her.
Two ships passing in the night. Because Tyra, you are a mother. You a mother up there. I mean, when it comes to your child, your bio children being put at risk, I mean, what are we doing to Natalia? Because there's no way. There's no way. And what we know happened in real life between Natalia and them boys.
Mm-hmm. She
they
got to
would've
go.
been in the city. Yes.
She got to go. She got to go. Baby, we wouldn't have made it. First, we wouldn't even made it at this agency, this hotel adoption agency. We wouldn't have made it out of there in the first place. There is nobody who is willing to risk not just the children, but your own health. Like, Natalia has every single ability in her way to shank you, fool. Like, what are we doing here? And we're just allowing it to take place, and we're wrestling with her. Or even when she's checking Hercules, who needs more hugs, for the knife, and somebody help! Like, get off of me! Like, oh, mommy's trying to hurt me. She doesn't like me. She hates me. Like, this is crazy. There's no way there would be at some point a line drawn where it's just like, okay, yeah, something needs to be done. You need to go. And we kind of have them in the show kind of trying to rationalize it when she talks to the parent who lent her the money for the center. And it's like, oh, and we adopted our son. It was, these moments where they were like, you're not my real mom. And they were acting out, and it took some time for him to get settled. And it's just like, oh, okay, maybe that, yeah, there's that. And then there's trying to stab you. There's the sinister looks constantly around. There's her wanting absolutely nothing to do with you, but having all the time in the world for your husband. Like, it's weird, ma'am. Which I keep saying, like, when is the shift going to happen? I think it would really benefit the show, and this is why I'm thinking that it won't, because there's no way we can have Kristine leap from this. And not just Kristine, the boys. We know that they had a very strong hand in, influence as far as the treatment of Natalia, because Kristine had whatever in her mind. How are we supposed to get from here to outright torture? How?
I don't know.
Because Natalia doesn't give that. Natalia is not giving, you're going to tell me to go stand wherever for umpteenth amount of hours and put me in immense pain and make me sleep outside. And this Natalia's going to do that.
I think that's maybe the point of altering her appearance in these first couple of episodes. I'm hoping we get to actually see a non-modified version of this character as we go forward, because that's unhinged. So also in this episode, Michael, you're fired at this point. He has to bring Natalia to work because, of course, Kristine is busy, and that's your child too. So bring her, like Brandon said, go hang out with the pregnant lady while I'm doing this. Natalia crawling on the floor behind the man, delivering the worst news ever. And Michael's got to contend now with, I got all these kids, I got a house full, and I'm out here working 12 hours a day to bring this money home, this munyan home. And so now he's got to go home and, to Kristine having a shopping spree. And now Natalia just takes it upon herself to lie. Well, daddy just got this big promotion knowing he got fired, and he was angry, crying, singing on the way home. And he's just going to sit there and let it ride. So, Brandon, back to your point, as far as no communication and them lying. But Tyra, I'm gonna ask you first really quickly, what did you think of this whole display? Natalia's jump to lie, was this to save her daddy or because she wanted to cuss Kristine out? Because look at that look on her face as she's
I think this
getting.
is also lending well into this manipulator narrative that they're trying to give Natalia, because when we have the mom lie about, oh, she's just they need the records or whatever before she can attend school, and she wasn't put out for being crazy. And then it's like, are we gonna have Natalia maybe try to use these things as levity to hold over their heads? Like, I know something you don't. Like, why would we have them both try to manipulate her into lying for their benefit all in the exact same, episode? I feel like that was a choice, but it's also lending to just all of the naivete and the disregard that Michael is getting into. Like, how many gestures, the way no, I don't want her. It's just like, oh, she's just a little girl. Like that. Hell no. Hell no. There's only so many just a little girl passes that you're going to get from me. And I'm just waiting. I just really want the next episode to be Kristine, like, oh, okay, you want it? Let's go. Girl, you don't know who you're dealing with, because right now Natalia completely has the floor, and she has this instantaneous attachment. Child, when she crawled on the floor in that office, it literally looked like something out of a horror film. I was like, girl, get up. Get up. All of that unnatural attachment, or just the moments where we have Natalia verbalize certain things that makes it seem like she's older than what she is, when she goes like, oh, I just love, donuts and eating, and I have a baby. Do you know? I think that's pretty obvious that you're pregnant, Heifer. Like, who are you? Like, it's that, and all of the, this makes me look like a 5-year-old, and I don't want to hold up the first grade sign because I'm clearly older than you want to, believe that I am. I'm not 7, but we know, which this showing gonna make me question it again, because we made a decision and we're standing on it. After all those damn docs, we made a decision and we're standing on it. Natalia is a child, so how are we gonna just do it? I feel like this show is gonna go completely from any of the narrative that we know, because there's no way to have these characters acting in this way and have them kind of escalate to where we need them to be. I just don't believe it. And when we have Michael say, oh, she was evil, she was this, she was that, I think we're going to have Kristine do those things that she did to Natalia, but it's still going to be depicted as, out of the kindness of my heart. And I'm just doing this to protect our family. Michael, she's not well. Like, it's still going to be nice. Like, I don't want nice Kristine. I want that evil lady who was ruling this household.
We better get it. We got her in the doc when she said your network is trash. I was like, okay, Miss Kristine, you're like, I don't know. It's so odd to see this, because we know in real life, especially back at this age, Natalia was so frail, right? She was it hurt her to walk. So this idea that she's pushing this grown woman over, that she's making all of these aggressive moves, she can't even hold things properly in her hands or walk. You know what I mean? But Brandon, what are your thoughts on this?
In my opinion, or I'm gonna hear from y'all. Kristine is doing this right here on purpose anyway, because I think she's under the impression that Michael, like, she wants him to admit to what's going on. I could be wrong, but actually, you also said something a moment ago. I agree with you 100% that Michael is not a leader at all, and that's pretty sad. But at the same time, I understand why he's wrong for not communicating with their financial situation, but I understand it at the same time, because he knows what position they're in, but he doesn't want them to panic. So yeah, I just put myself in his shoes. Like, if I have a family, and I'm responsible for him, but it doesn't seem like Michael is. If I lose my job, I don't know if I'm just going to tell my wife immediately. I may try to come up with a plan like right away and be like, hey, babe, I lost my job. This is what we're going to do, to make up for it, instead of just saying, hey, I lost my job. I don't know what we're going to do. I'm nervous. I'm panicking. That's just what I was thinking about, doing the scene. Y'all, I heard y'all respond. So I don't know if you agree or disagree. or
You
no.
tell the truth.
That's what you want to fight, don't you? You want to argue in the middle of the mall, don't you? No, we call and we tell our wife immediately. You never want to be like the last to know or the second to know, or because you're going to talk to somebody, even if you're just discussing whatever with yourself. Tell me as your wife so we can figure out what we need to do, not
Well,
just you figuring out what you need to do because you're the man. Okay.
Exactly, because women are going to bring solutions as well, and two heads are always better than one. Now, Kristine, this ain't the real Kristine. Kristine was hell on wheels. She probably would have told Michael he was less than garbage and trash, and that he would. So I too could understand why he would let the lie ride, because Kristine is not a normal person, allegedly.
I don't think we're getting that actually. And what the main thing that made me feel like we're not getting any of that is the way that they're depicting her oldest son. He is very like forward and brazen in his opinion. And mom, what are you doing? Like, that's not even smart. Like, can you get? And she's just all like, okay. I'm like, there's no way we're getting real Kristine here if we have the oldest son. Just we know how the oldest son ended up, and we know how he was to even get to the point at 12 to where they were sitting with Princeton. And they're having conversations and eating and talking, and it's cake and Oreos. And like, mom, I know when something's up. Tell me what's going on. Like, you're off. This is weird. Natalia's also weird. What are we going to do about it? I was like, whose children are these?
Lord have mercy. And now we are to the final scene, y'all. Michael, she's got hair. Because now after a week, she finally got a bath, which again, timeline screwed up. We know that this happened very early in the real life story. I couldn't help but cackle. I don't think she's who she says she is, Michael. Michael. Mind you, this is after all of the series of outbursts and behavioral issues and all of that. Did this come across how you thought it would based on what we've seen in the past?
No, because we resolved them of everything. We already have that sense of secrecy in Natalia constantly saying from the moment that she arrives what she doesn't like and what she doesn't want to do. Don't like doctors. We don't like baths. We are taking any autonomy away from Kristine, where it was like you were the one bathing her and discovered this and just decided in your mind, no children, progress and hit, certain mature milestones like hair before starting, like that's not unheard of. But in Kristine's mind, because she already had these seething thoughts about her, it's like, well, this is just another thing that just makes me like solidify that she isn't who she says she is, and she's probably older. But the way that it's done here, and she's checking rooms and goes in the bathroom, and she has hair, Michael, like
Michael.
It was very comical, but it also felt like this was the only time, in like the first time, where she thought like, is she who we think she, like, maybe we're not even at this point questioning, as far as Kristine is concerned, to me, her age. It just feels like she's a little bit on the manipulating, evil, whatever side. She doesn't like me as the new mom. Maybe she needs a little more time. Maybe I'll grow on her. We'll get that bond later. But she has yet to question her age. It's just weird, the order that they chose. But yeah, this was funny as hell. Even the mom coming in, she was like, "Oh, there are tacks on the floor and her foot," and it's like, "Well, yeah, he's always been a little punk anyway. Maybe that was just something to toughen him up. Like, grow some balls, little boy. You need a little pain in your life." Also, kind of, I guess, giving light to her upbringing, even with Michael, when she was like, "Well, I can call my mom. She can say, oh, no, she can come to work with me." That's the last option.
How did the mother get here?
The mother is just here. All of a sudden, Kristine has a mom, when we know nobody said too much of anything. Maybe Michael's, people about the type of character and woman that she was, and my poor son. Everybody wants to resolve Michael of anything he's ever done to get them here. But yeah, this was funny.
Yeah, because Michael, I mean, for better or worse, he's entertaining, and I can see how some fool would fall for it. But I wonder why we question it here, but didn't question earlier when she says, "I just want daddy to bathe me. I want daddy to give me a bath," which is weird as hell, Brandon. At the very end of this episode, we see Kristine bust in on Natalia in the bath. Michael, she's got hair. I don't think she's the age she says she is. Do you think she's the age she says she is, Brandon?
Oh no, not at all. Not at all. She's 57. Like Tyra said, But like you also just said, it is weird because y'all have the backstory. My only backstory is orphan, so that's what I'm comparing it to. Like, eventually, is Natalia gonna try to hit on the daddy, Michael? God, I hope not. Jesus Christ, that I don't think I can handle that. So, I was saying to myself, okay, if she's trying to impersonate somebody, because I'm going off the orphan, why wouldn't you shave your parts? You're not a little girl, you're a grown person, pretend like you're a child, so you should have that much sense. But then again, just like you said, she wanted Michael to bathe her earlier. So were you willing to reveal yourself at that point in time? Because that's creeping itself. So I don't know what to think. But it is funny because I wasn't expecting this ending. The lack of communication again from Kristine is just making me fume, like out of all of my pores. But I'm glad that she found the knife and the bear as well. So now that Michael and Kristine both know that this little girl is lying and hiding knives, and that Kristine was not crazy when she suspected that she snuck in their room when they were sleeping, had the knife or whatever. It's all, it's about to hit the fan right here. And I was really excited. The communication still sucked, but I'm like, finally, we're here, but then we get the hair thing thrown at us. And so that's like another hurdle that I cannot wait to see, how they address it and talk to you guys in episode 3. But I mean, it should be blatantly obvious right now. Like, okay, we are getting, this is a banana in the tailpipe. What is going on? It needs to be a sit down. If these characters still like, oh, especially Michael, oh my God, you're being uptight and you're crazy. Go kill yourself. But I can't wait to talk to you guys about what happens next, though.
Okay, awesome. And with that in mind, Brandon, whose perspective are we getting next in the next episode? And this is how he was holding her. You see how he's holding her in this picture? Very odd. Yeah, very odd. But who do you think we're gonna see his perspective in the next episode, in episode 3?
It would be nice if we got it from one of the children.
Okay.
Especially with them being older. Like, hey, when 9 years ago she put tacks on the ground and I ran over it, and that was just the beginning of it. Let me tell you what happened next, something like that or something.
Tyra?
I think they're going to go back and forth with giving us what feels like still memorable moments from the docs, and then we're going to come back and it's still going to be all Kristine. I feel like it's going to be mostly Kristine. The only shift that could, I guess, happen is her getting confirmation from what she feels like is a viable doctor that, oh, she is actually whatever age. And it's just like, okay, I have every right to treat you as, a grown whatever who's playing on my time. And then we're getting into her being evil. I think that's where we're going to go. But as far as perspectives, I think we're going to have, okay, I remember this moment or this scene or whatever. And then we're going to shift. It's Kristine and Natalia. I don't think we're going to get the dimensions that we're expecting from this show. I just don't see it.
Oh Lord, I'm hoping so. But you guys, that was Good American Family from Hulu, episodes 1 and 2, and we'll be back weekly to cover this thing. But before we go, Brandon, what do you have going on? Let the people know.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I really do appreciate it. So I look forward to more. Just my opinion reviews. Right now, I'm covering a lot of TV stuff. So I got Dope Thief, Reacher season 3, Raising Kanan, and also Daredevil. But later on tonight or early in the morning, my non-spoilery review for Magazine Dreams will be dropping with Jonathan Majors. Oh my gosh, crazy good. And also have a couple of spoiler reviews as well. 2 parts. One that I did with Malcolm, one that I did with Kimberly on our thoughts for the film as well. Me and Malcolm talked about 35 minutes. Me and Kim, maybe about an hour and a half. So it's a great film. It's going to have everybody talking. And Ashley and Tyra, y'all need to cover it. I can't wait to hear y'all thoughts too if y'all had a bandwidth.
Absolutely. It's definitely on my radar at least. Tyra, let people know what's going on over there. The struggle.
Now, y'all know what's going on, okay? Y'all know that. We ain't got to talk about that. What I will say is, I watched Duplicity, okay? I watched Duplicity first thing this morning, and We will be here. Dane, anybody in the chat who's saying they don't know what's coming up, I don't even know how that's possible, but we will be here Friday discussing Duplicity tomorrow. It's on Prime, y'all. Please roll up and watch it before we get into the conversation, because ridiculous. I just don't know. I really can't wait to hear perspectives on that, because it was a hot mess. Usual with Tyler Perry. There's that. Y'all already know that we will be getting into Raising Kanan. Episode 3, I really, really hope that it's good. Be on the lookout for that this Saturday, and everything else that we have coming, like the Single Black Female Part 3 franchise, and so on and so forth. But be sure to support us and be there Friday, most definitely. Tomorrow, same time, same place, 6:15 CST, so we can get into Tyler Perry, because that's always fun.
Lord have mercy. And you guys, I watched something so good last night, and I'm going to be talking about it. It's on Paramount Plus, though, and I know people don't have Paramount Plus. But Happy Face, Dennis Quaid. That's all I'm going to say. The first 2 episodes dropped. My review for that will be up. In addition to my Daredevil review, and my last Married at First Sight of season 18, that'll be up as well. So please make sure you're subscribed to everyone. Make sure that you have your notification bell on so you don't miss a thing. And thank y'all for being here. Oh, and one more thing before we go. If you are a member to either Struggle Reviews TV or My Sweet Perspective, we have a blockbuster movie night, members only watch party every single Saturday night. And this week is my choice. I'm going to leave you guys with my choice. Have the most amazing rest of your evening, and we will see y'all tomorrow.
Their criminal instincts are being reprogrammed as they sleep.
Aggression and deviant behavior will be totally.
Likes of which you have never seen. Time, he was the worst.
We are, quite frankly, not equipped to deal with the situation.
We're police officers. We're not trained for this kind of violence.
One man, John Spartan.
You mean the Demolition Man?
The conditions of Phoenix.
2 mortal enemies.
Just dropped in to say hi!
Oh, hell. Will be unleashed. Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes,